Hey, what's up, everybody? So in my last video, I was talking about where I said sometimes certain companies just get picked, and typically it's from the upper echelon of players, right? And so we're going to take a look, right? Synthetic meat investor Bill Gates calls for rich countries to shift entirely to synthetic meat, right? And so he invests in synthetic meats. And so, of course, people listen to him, just like people listen to him about vaccines. Is he a medical doctor? Does he know anything about science? Does he know anything about vaccines? No. Is he into agriculture? Is he a farmer? Did he grow up, planting and all and being a farmer and knows everything about agriculture? No. But these people love to dictate what other people do, especially because they have money, they get themselves at the top of the food chain, and then they basically want to dictate to you what to eat. Now, of course, the purpose of the video, I'm not going to go into the whole leftist agenda and what they have spelled out for the near future, but as investors, we do want to, of course, realize that this is more than likely going to happen, right? And so we have new legislature seeks to ban bacon from hospitals in Oregon. It says if passed, Oregon's new proposed legislation would remove processed meats and put fully planted based meals on the menu at all hospitals, long-term care facilities, and prisons in the state. And so this is typically how stuff like stuff like this sort of agenda begins, right? Same thing. Left legislation to ban fur was just introduced in Oregon, and this is February 12, 2021. This article is January 29, 2021. And so, of course, this, of course, is going to affect certain stocks, like, for example, Beyond Meat, and, of course, other companies, like, for example, Tattoo Chef. This is typically why I say, you never know which one of these companies. There's a Canadian company here that I was looking at called The Very Good Food. It's something I can't buy on Webull. I might be able to buy it in my TD account. But as you can see, just looking at this particular stock is a very lightly traded, only about 400. It looks like it only averages about 500, less than 500,000 shares a day. But these are one of these stocks that come out of nowhere, and then the next thing you see, like, why is this stock that was $4, $50? But as you can see, it has a base here at about 450. It came just this looks like it's a brand new company that started in August of 2020. Now, this is what I talk about where I say sometimes you never know, out of the woodwork, a company basically gets picked. An agenda, right? An agenda, someone spins a narrative. Typically it's someone in the upper echelons, and this is typically the way it goes. And so you can look at Tattoo Chefs. It is a company based in California, no surprise. This is another new company that started in 2019. And so you can take a look for yourself, and you'll see a lot of these ideas for synthetic meats are going to become very popular. So you might look at, for example, at stocks like Beyond Meat. But if you're looking to get into something that's a little newer, that's a little more on the ground level, that has a little bit more opportunity, of course, for growth, the stocks that I'll be paying attention to are more than likely going to be Tattoo Chef. Or if I'm able to purchase this stock in my TD account for diversity, this is a Canadian stock. You can look it up. Both of these companies do packaged food. One obviously is a little more trendier than the other one, but this is the typical stuff that I talk about. The other thing that we're going to talk about is also, for example, there's another little narrative being spun currently that all right, so if you haven't been paying attention, not oil tankers, like shipping tankers, are there's basically a shortage, right? So there's a shortage of shipping tankers, and it's mostly because the supply chain has been disrupted. And so more than likely you'll see, I'm trying to find a company, but you can just Google like shipping tanker stocks, and then all the stocks, as you can see, will come up. And that's just because there's a shortage, right? We'll go to Google and we'll go shortage of shipping tankers, right? And there'll be numerous articles talking about what's been recently. It says rally in product tanker stocks to be short-lived. Shipping tanker containers continue to skyrocket, and this is as of December, right? So, and it's because basically China is the only one who's basically producing anything, And so, as you know, and the shipments come here in California. I live in New York, but you can look it up on the net. And so, before America can basically send and put any of their goods on the ships, they just like as soon as they unload, they just dip, right? And so it caused there's a shortage, and then they've been having accidents, and a lot of these boats have been sinking. Again, this is easily verifiable. And so what you should be doing is then going to Google and then of course looking for companies that at least look fairly solid, have what looks like an opportunity. This is another one that I came across here. So as you can see, it looks like it bounced off of this. This looks like a little bottom here. It eventually broke through, and then we're seeing this come back up and then retest. This looks like one of those companies that I was talking about in my last video, where like comes up, comes down. One of these little buy the dips and then gets dumped. One of these little pump and dump stocks. But it does look like, in terms of technical analysis, it looks like we saw a test of 14, which is where it bounced, right? It basically bounced here and then finally broke through here, tried to retest, came short, retest, came short, right? And retest, came short. Finally, it breaks through 14s. And then, of course, your next area is right here at about $16. And as you can see, it looks like it did kind of close below. And then immediately the very next day, it bounced back up. Another one was TNK. TNK is another one. This is another one out of the woodwork. I've never heard of this company before. But this looks like another one of these little pump and dump sort of scenarios. And again, I might trade this in my Webull account. I might take a very small position. It's not too expensive, so I might buy 50 to 100 shares. I'm not really gonna load up. As you can see, at most I'm looking at about $10 as my bottom, right? You can see since September, it basically held $10. Finally broke out. As you can see, just technical analysis speaking, you can see right here, we'll just go ahead and extend this. For the most part, it was holding, looked like it was holding 13s, finally came down, retested 13s, couldn't hold it, retested 13s again, couldn't hold it, breaks out at 13, and then as you can see, there's another day right here where the stock tests 13 and then bounces. So these are two or a couple of plays here that I'll be looking at, right? TNK is one. I forgot what the other one was before, STK or something like that. Or Scorpio, that's what it was. Scorpio tankers. And then of course, you know, Tattoo Chef. Or you can do your own research and look up basically ship tanker stocks. And then, you know, either like plant-based meat. I know Beyond Meat is obviously a popular one, but it's already very expensive, and it's had quite a very bit of a run up from 60. I think it's like 120. Let me see. Right, so yeah, it's already 160. So I think the low was like 60. So it's almost, you know, it almost tripled already. And so I'm not quite sure how much movement it can have. It could go to 300, it can go to 500. I don't know. A little expensive for me. I'd probably look myself to some of these other cheaper companies that might have much more of a chance to move, you know, 100 or 200%. Not quite sure how much Beyond Meat will have, but again, this is typically what I said, where a lot of things, especially now, a lot of stuff that's going on now, there's a lot of manipulation, so you have to be real careful about where you put your money. But at the same time, you also have to think according to these people, right? According to the line of these same individuals, because this is just the way it is. And so basically like you know, like on the highway and you see people chasing the ambulances, right? So sometimes these people are basically, you just got to follow where they're going, so that you can benefit from the plays that they're basically going to be putting out there, which is one is of course shortages in tankers, as well as the new proposed deal basically to have everybody eating synthetic meat. And it's just because they're looking for a new payday, and that's basically what it is. I'm going to leave it here, and I'll check you out next time. Thanks for watching. Of course, subscribe if this is your first time here, and I'll check you out next time. Thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.